Hey, what's going on? City Hall. We're playing a little bit of chess today. This is a new computer, so sorry if some of the audio levels and syncs are a little bit off, but it is what it is. You might notice my ratings like 940. That's not very good, but doesn't mean we can't play a little chess. The only real like openings I know are the Caro Khan and the London, and you can't do Caro Khan against D4. So I really we're in no man's land currently. And I think that's a bad play because they could just push up the pawn here. I'm glad I could draw on the computer. It makes it really good for content purposes, but already I could feel the game slipping out of control, and commentary and chess don't mix as well as I would have hoped. It's actually quite difficult. I could already feel myself. I've blundered twice. I can still pre-move, which is kind of neato. All right, let's see if there's there. So if we move our knight to here, we could attack this bishop, and then if they move it, we could put our knight here, and then that'll give us a fork on the king and the rook. But we need him to move this queen first. So I think what I'm gonna try to do is push up this pawn so that this can come here and maybe put pressure here, and we'll figure out something to do about this pawn so that we can get the queen to capture. All right, we now have a full game plan, and I think it's going to start with moving out this pawn here. So I'm going to put in this one as a bait, and but before we put this pawn all the way to here, we're going to have to move this bishop to this square. All right, everything's thrown out of whack with that move. I gotta check the checks, the discovered attack, the continuity. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Except I've spotted a new move. Is knight to there, because once we do that, we have a pin on, not a pin, but a fork on the king and the bishop. Although we could just move the king, and then if we take the bishop, we're kind of, we're not that positive. We spent two moves taking an equal piece. So I think we're going to stick with the original plan, which means I think step two is moving up this pawn. Although once we move up that, he takes, I take, then he takes, and we got nothing. So I think step two right there. We're taking a lot of time because I'm explaining some moves, but I think explaining it is going to make me blunder a lot less. I typically I blunder a ton, and that's so we're not really scared of anywhere this knight goes, right? I mean, here is like it's a small problem, but like not enough to worry about. So I think I believe that means the next play is here. Right, because we have this knight capture is covered by the pawn, and he's given us a second to breathe, a second to commentate. Hello, nice to meet you. If you're a first time viewer here for the chess, I hope I don't embarrass myself. So there's our covered spaces. So it seems like since we can't block with anything, we only have one move. Oh wow, it shows you a little where you can move. That's a little neat. Didn't know that. We're only 10 moves in, and we're down 2.5 minutes here to his 1 minute. So I think speeding up will be in our best interest, considering one piece has been captured the entire game. All right, let's. That moved the. I mean, you can move bishop to here or here, and then you get a discovered attack. But then what is the? Yeah, that's pretty bad actually. So I'm gonna just make sure that doesn't happen, because that will, because then he moves the bishop there. All right, so no. I'm not. I see what you're doing. I'm not gonna let you do it, because what happens is I take. He moves the there. There you go. So what would have happened is he moved the. Okay, so you can't see everything sometimes. So you got to just keep rolling with it. Let's yeah. So that's not good. Let's see. Takes. No, he probably takes with the pawn. Yeah, that's a bucket of worms I don't want to open. I think we're pretty much just boned. I think we lost a rook kind of for free. I mean, we did, but I also think we have no good moves besides that. So yeah, we thought something like that was coming. This protects the knight and attacks the rook and hangs the queen, which is a thing I like to do very frequently, and he did see it. But check it out, we have yep, that we're losing. There's no two ways to slice that. Okay, that's a fork. It's a forced trade. We don't mind it horribly, but it's not what we like to see. You know, the more you trade when you're behind is bad, and we are currently behind a queen, if you could see there. Um, right. So if we take that, then the horse just takes. So that's a free pawn anyway. Let's uh, let's pressure this pawn is left hanging. Currently doesn't have anything protecting it, and we might even be able to move our bishop to capture the knight if he doesn't do something about it. Although then the bishop does get taken by the queen, so that's an oops. Well, not an oops, but you know, it doesn't work. All right, well that's that. Honestly, great play. Uh, yeah. So, I this one's a resign for sure. We've got another game in us though. You know, you see that the rating is very low. Losing when you got a low rating is fine. So I only my analysis is limited because I'm currently on the free version. But maybe you know I buy it for a business expense, but you know one blunder, one mistake that doesn't look that bad. You know analysis. I don't think it means much when you're at this level. We hung a queen. I think we know what we did wrong. All right, so we're white. We're white now. We know what we're doing a little bit more. We could start playing the London. And the London's actually something I know. You may have noticed this is not a book move. That's because I don't know what I'm doing. Definitely could have captured that pawn. Definitely should have. It was left hanging. It was attacking the king. It's not checkmate, but I think they. Yeah, no, it's definitely just not. Um, Although something. I'm getting something a little interesting here if we're able to. Knight to there, then. So we do knight to here, and then he takes, and then I take, he would have to push his queen up, or just that pawn to present. Well, and once he pushes the pawn, then we take the. Yeah, all right. So that's not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. I think I'm gonna push this knight up anyway. It attacks these two pawns, which are both, you know, they're all right. You know, this is a great this is a great move to protect both the pawns. Didn't see that. Uh, we can move this up. That's pretty kosher because we have the knight protecting it. What do you do to that? This is a little bit of a weird one, I gotta say. Not too weird. It's a little bit of a weird, small weirdness. What is that? You want the rook over here? Does he want to? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that move. It's not like bad or anything. So we do have the queen attacking that, but that's protected by the rook. Running a little on time. What do you think of this move? Kind of traps the bishop in where he is. Don't mind that. Uh, I think I'll take the trade because it doubles his pawns, opens up the king's file, and yeah, if he moves the queen, just move the queen. Nope, don't put that there. I guess when in doubt, you could just naturally develop your pieces. Right, that's going to be a common theme is we're going to be running low on time because I have to talk through all my moves and, you know, I'm not very good. But I mean, we're playing someone lower than rank, so he's not very good either. You know, there's no reason to be intimidated. Just because you're not good doesn't mean they are. So he's got a little. This attack could have been nasty because he could have put it here and have a pin on the rook and the king. But I think currently we just move the king and we're fine. I'll tell you that I considered this. That would have been a very bad move. This is atrocious. Although now, once he moves the queen to here, I still have protection. All right, so now he's attacking the rook. So I mean, we pretty much know our options there. Uh, and now, it does mean we have a lot of pieces on the white squares for the white squared bishop, but it's kind of trapped in there. We did that earlier. Uh, not only have the bishop covering my idea. What if I move here? Puts threat on the bishop. Bishop doesn't have too many places to move that are good because this is covered by the rook, covered by the queen. Although no, yeah, because that's covered by the horse if the queen takes. So pretty much your only moves are going to be back to there, which that's a retreat. We'll take that. This tempo. Yeah, that's one of the moves we said he would do. What if we try to get this bishop to here somehow? It's doable. It might take a long time, but it's doable for sure. Yeah, not a lot of good moves here, so I think we could just hang on. What do we put our pawn here with the intent to push g4, and then it gets us a pretty good situation, and it also opens up this bishop a little bit. Maybe we could put it here, then move the knight somehow, get a pin on the rook and the okay. So if we take this, presumably it takes with the queen, and that doesn't actually threaten any pieces. So we can, threatens this pawn, but like you're really taking 2 turns, capture 2 pawns. Okay. Anyway, we could probably put him in check, something like that, and then once he's in check, we I don't know. I think I like it, and I think we're running out of time, so I'll accept your gambit or whatever. Like I don't know very much chess lingo, and then if we move this B to E, we can get a little that. That's actually mate if he lets it happen. So that would be kind of nice if he doesn't see it. And sometimes you can rely on people not see. I'm in check by what? All right. But like really though, like who cares? I care because I move here and then he moves the pawn again and then he's got actually wait, this already is a nasty pin on the king and the queen. That's something I didn't see. Well, what am I gonna do about that? You can't move the pawn here because then he takes and you're still in that nasty pickle. I think we just lost a queen. Oh dang, maybe he doesn't see it. You could always rely on that. Yeah, he sees it. Okay. And I did it again. I gave him a discovered attack. This one's a lot less deadly, but yeah, it's hard to see stuff like that. You don't expect that out of a 900 player, considering I am 900 and I didn't see it. So I could just let this pawn go for a little bit of tempo. It's in a scary position, but we kind of need to pull some small amount of nonsense here. Is there any way I could protect this square so I could push the bishop to it and then, that's a little gravy? I don't really see one. We're in check, by the way. I didn't really notice. How about that? How do you like that? All right, then he takes, so I'm kind of forced to move the rook back to protect against the rank opportunity. Oh, you're just gonna do that. Well, okay, I got one move. It seems. Am I in checkmate? No, we have the rook covering this square. This square, the mating square. I'm not gonna say chess is hard because I am at like 900. Is that the move you want to make though? I don't think it is. So now that's your only space you can move. Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right. So like that didn't actually get me much. I think I'm in a position where I pretty much got to trade rooks now, unfortunately. But you know, once he does that, we can get rid of that. That was scaring us. We've definitely lost this game, but perhaps we won't lose spectacularly. That would be nice. We definitely can't time him out. That's hmm. I thought it was a pin on the knight and the queen, but you can't really fork a knight with a knight. I'll tell you what I can and will do is I wanted to do that for a while, and it's nowhere near as good because I pretty much everything about that changed. But if we get the bishop to here, we do have a pin. All right, so it looks like we're approaching. I'm about to get checkmated territory, and I'm fully prepared for that. Prepared mentally, not I'm not prepared in game at all. Okay, all we could do now is look for and hope for some colossal blunders. That's fine. Doesn't really do much. Okay, I don't know what he's really doing. I'll move there because I mean, it's approaching this kind of situation. We have these to move for. All right, so that's none of that situation is happening. Threaten the knight. We like making a move the knight. The knight's not a hugely powerful piece to move. It's not as scary. All right, so we're in check again. Seems like yeah, we only got a couple of places to move. I think we're gonna lose any second here. Well, any second he wants to move. 'Cause we're definitely gonna lose within. Well, he could just not move. We could always hope for it. Might seem like a funny thing to hope for, but like I've seen funny things happen on this elo. This actually protects everything. This is a little cheeky structure here. Look at that. It's like a. Oh yeah, that throws a little wrench in here, doesn't it? This is definitely like no one would blame you for conceding in this territory, but Levy Rosman told me to play out all my games. But like if he takes this, I'm just kind of we're good. All right, he's spared me. Why don't I take this? What do you mean? Oh, all right, I see that. Yep. I don't want to play anymore. We'll give you 8 blunders. That's not surprising. We'll give you one more. Hopefully you'll play pawn to d4. No, okay. I no longer know what to do, so we'll just play the London is black. This is a tried and true opening. It's actually the Zuckerot variation. He's I see I see you're a fan of Spanish. My computer is very loud currently. Let's see. What if I could turn on the nitro sense and tell it to stop? Maybe that's something I could do. It's a new computer, so it's got a. All right. So what if I custom and I make it like literally none, please? All it's gonna let me do is make the fan go more, and I'd like the fan to go like about none. Fan control. Please do actually 0. All right, so you're not doing what I want you to do. Auto. Whatever. I can't fix this. I gotta play chess. So, the bishop is under threat. I'll just slide this back, and then you could open up my rook file if you'd like. That was a pre-move. Is the fan picking up? Yeah, I think absolutely. So like, keep talking so it doesn't sound weird. I believe that's not a free pawn. I didn't bother checking though because I think we're definitely super low on time. Why don't I attack this this knight here? It means that I can't move the pawn here, so I can't have this pawn structure attacking this. But I'm honestly kind of fine with that. I think I'll take, and then if he takes with pawn, I get to prevent him from castling. That's fine by me. And then this pretty much guarantees I get the... Well, I can move that there. That doesn't bother me. I have the horse to take with. Yeah, I called it a horse. My bad. Don't get mad at me. We have a lot of doubled up pawns, but we also have a slight material advantage and an open file on the rook. All right, so this is becoming quite the nasty square. What are you gonna do about it? So if we attack this bishop, no, that's just bad. Why don't I move in the knight to protect against like the rook moving twice? I'm sure that's a blunder of some kind. All right, that checks out. Well, if we put the rook here, then he can't move here or here with it, and yeah, we just take there. Yeah, we knew he had to take with the rook first. I'll guard this pawn is currently unguarded. Although he now does have a discovered attack, so he can threaten. Well, there's nothing he could threaten, so it's not too bad. We're already in an endgame, which is our first one. That was a blunder by my opponent. It was not. That's the discovered attack we were talking about just earlier. Let's move on to a black square. That's the square you were not wanting to be on before. Good job. Good job, City Hall. Okay, and like I said, there's that unprotected square. Why don't we move to here? I'd like you to move this. I don't like where it is. Okay, so I'll move to here this time. Nah, not hugely important. Your bishop is still under threat. There you go. And let's see how you like... So if we move to here, you move to there, and then we're in check again. Oh, well, no, if you move to there, then I take your rook. And you can't take the pawn because then I take your bishop. I think I've trapped him. I think I made my first good move this episode. I'll figure out how to turn off the fans in another episode because I'm sure there's a way with this Nitro Sense thing on the new computer. Or maybe if I disable Nitro Sense, my computer won't have as much processing to do. And now he's thinking. He's reeling back in his chair. He's complaining to his mother because he just got outplayed on chess.com, his favorite website. Ooh. I could smell the rage. So that threatens this pawn, for sure. I see that. We could move here to protect it with the rook, but... And yeah, you know what? That threatens this pawn as well, which is hanging, like most of these are, but... And, you know, that was just a bad play because we're still protecting this pawn, and it didn't really do much about that. All right, so I really think this guy doesn't know what he's doing because now we're both attacking the rook and defending everything, and I could just let you take that, honestly. I don't mind. You might think I mind, but we got that. I like the Zuccarot. What could I say? You know, we did have a nasty pin. I missed it. That's gonna show up as a missed win on the computer. Why don't we put you there? Probably should have moved here to kind of get the pawns going. I'll gladly trade rooks here because I think I'm kind of winning, and then activate this other rook. All right, so what are you going for here? You probably want to get rid of this one, right? How about that? That's got to be good. And you know what? Once I put the king like here-ish, I don't know what he's gonna do about it. I'm gonna put you in check. I'm gonna move like that, and then when you take, I have a discovered attack. Probably good. I don't know. This pawn's protected by the knight. Here seems like it's going to cause you major problems in the future. I think this is going to be our first win. So if I put you in check here, you just take with the king. Okay. What if I rook to there? You can't take the pawn. You're in check, so you gotta move the king. Yeah, and then I don't know what we're doing after that. We've got a lot of time on our hands here. What about moving the pawn up? Then he could trade rooks. Do I like that? I think I like that a lot. I think I like being in an endgame with the only real piece. And, you know, you've got to decide now. I'll pre-move that capture. He doesn't go for it. Okay, so what's he planning to do here? Well, I'll tell you, I can now protect this with the knight again. And you're in a bad spot. Because now I go rook to here. And you gotta move your rook somewhere. You can't even move it up, because then I'll take it. So I really think I just won with that move. I think we got our first win, boys. And I'll capture just to prove it to you. It turns it into a queen. How do I cancel pre-move? All right, is right click. All right, so this is a good move. This is a bit of a forcing move, though. Yeah, okay. So definitely want to stop this from happening here, when I think we definitely can. All right. I see where you're going with that. I don't think it's going to work. Although it might, I'll be real with you. But I don't think it will. So let's pawn here. Well, he's got to move pawns because he moves his king and he's kind of donezo. So we'll just keep, hanging around these pawns here and see what happens. Specifically this pawn and this one. I don't know. Ooh, it's getting tight up in here. I definitely like takes because then you have both of my pawns near the king. Okay, so we could just kind of keep moving in and around these guys, and there's not much else he could do with the pawns. So he's gonna move his king to either here or here, and he can you could definitely avoid stalemate like that, right? Let's see. I move here, he moves there. I move there. He gets the queen. Yeah, it's bad news. I don't know what to do. I think we both just keep moving back and forth and then stalemate. And if he wants to, he can move back and forth like that. I think it's number of moves without a pawn move. So I think we gotta force each other to a stalemate here, unless there's something I'm missing, or he blunders. That's another. He blunders the whole game. Actually, that's a great move there you had. Good job, Chief. Yeah. Good. That's great. Because now we just take this and then move the other pawn all the way up. You can concede anytime, by the way. Our Dizzle. And don't worry, I'm watching the king. If he makes a move to the horse, we'll push the queen. Anytime. You can concede anytime. Actually, I don't need anything over here anymore because I can just push the other pawn. But you did give it to me, so thanks. And I could move the king all the way over there and get the checkmate, but I think it's faster to just get the second queen. Thank you for going fast at the very least. We'll move to there. I almost stalemated him. I really did almost do that. But that, good game. You were a good sport as far as I can tell. Say good game. My pleasure. And thank you very much for watching City Hall Plays Chess, and I hope you'll tune into the next episode. There might not be a next episode. Let me know if you want more chess.